welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back and I took a little bit of a break. It's been like 1 or 2 months, but today I am here to talk about my labor and delivery. So with my labor and delivery, I'm gonna start off from the beginning and why everything happened and blah, and just like give you a roundabout about it. So guys, as you all know, I was pregnant, whatever. But I was about, let's say, 33 weeks, I'm gonna say about 33 weeks, 34. And I had gotten sick, whatever the case is. I'm lying, I'm gonna do this all over. So I wanted to tell you guys about my story, how everything went, how I feel about it, if I ever want to have kids again. Because of it. So I'm gonna just give y'all a whole bunch of, I'm gonna just throw it at y'all. So when I was, I'm gonna say about 34 weeks, I had these crazy stupid contractions. Like, they were crazy. Like, I literally was in the bathtub thinking I was about to give birth. Like, that's how bad it was. I was like, oh my god. And it was about 30 something weeks. And I had went to the hospital. Around this time, it was the whole COVID situation. Like, it was really, really bad at that time. So I went, whatever the case is, and they took my temperature, they did everything that they needed to do, and they tested me for COVID like any other person would have. Like, they're supposed to test you for COVID automatically if you're pregnant. So they tested me for COVID. They were monitoring my contractions, and like, they was just checking me and stuff. I told them, I was like, listen, like, I just had some crazy ass contractions. They were seeing the contractions, so they had to give me they gave me stuff to like calm it down, whatever. So that happened. While I was there, mind you, I went in with no symptoms, no coughing, no nothing, whatever the case is, and I ended up coming back positive for it. And in my opinion, and I will stick with this opinion, I honestly feel like they got you sick. And I was actually reading it recently, and they were saying how some of the kits, like, to test people, were infected. So I don't know what happened, but I tested positive for it. So I was freaking out at the moment, because it's just like, yo, like, I'm pregnant, whatever, what if this like goes to my baby, this and that. I was going crazy. After the whole hospital situation, I stayed home for a while. Like, I was isolating. I ended up getting sick out of nowhere, like, from no symptoms, and then the next day I just started coughing, had a fever, which is why I really believe that it was infected, because how do you go from no symptoms and then the next day, 2 days later, you have symptoms, But whatever. So I had regular, like, coughing and fever, and I was just really, like, tired, but I was pregnant, so I was tired all the time. But so I was dealing with that. After the 12 days, I was good. It went away. So that was going on. Around that same time, they were calling me every 2 days, like, with the video visit. They were checking up on me, asking me how I was feeling, if I was getting the symptoms, like, if there was any other symptoms. And I'm like, nah, it's just coughing and I had a little fever, that's it. So whatever. Then around that time, I had like, really, like, my skin was really dry, And then I was getting like little patches and stuff, like I had it on my neck and stuff, like it was ugly. But I thought of it as just, you know, like maybe eczema or something like that. Like maybe I was just getting eczema because my skin was really dry. Like it was like everywhere. Like I had to put like a whole bunch of lotion throughout my pregnancy because of it. Like your normal use, like it was just like plus that. And after a while I started getting itchy, like extremely itchy, and it was just like, what in the hell, like what is going on? So I ended up telling them that, and the minute that I told them that, they were like, you need to go to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, like what is going on? It's just an itch. So I need to put a rubber band for this because I don't know why she, whatever. I'm gonna have to edit all of that. So I went to the hospital, and I'm like, oh, my doctor told me to come into the hospital, whatever. It's just like a really bad itch. Like the itch doesn't go away. It's in my palm. It was everywhere. Like it was in my skin. It was everywhere. And so they took my blood. They were monitoring the baby, whatever. And they come back and they tell me how it's this thing called cholestasis. So you know me, I went to Google right away, searched up what it was, because it's just like, okay, like they tell you what it is, but like I don't understand their language, like, so I gotta search it up and I gotta understand what they're talking about. So pregnancy, it literally can cause stillbirth, as in the baby can die. And yeah, so they caught it early, which was really good because it was going on for about like 2 weeks before I thought it was just eczema, so I didn't really put any mind to it. So around that time I was already 34 weeks, and at 37 weeks, which is full term, preterm, they induced me. So around that time, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was like, okay, like let me start getting my bag ready, this and that, because the time is getting near. It really wasn't. It was around the beginning of May, mid-May, and I was getting induced May 23rd. No, I'm lying. May 22nd, something like that. I forgot the date. But so yeah, so I was getting induced, whatever, and it was really scary because it's like I've never like how do you do this? Like what the hell? Like it's not like just like your water breaks and a couple of hours later you're having a baby naturally, which is what I wanted, but you know, you have to go the other, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, so I was there for about, I would say 72 hours or a little more. I was there for 3 days. They wanted me to go natural as much as possible. They literally stuck a balloon, they gave me medicine, they did everything, and the contractions started coming in. It was, you know, it started going in, but I literally hit 3 centimeters, barely 3 centimeters the 3rd day, and they were like, okay, like we can't put anything else inside of you because it literally can harm the baby. So that was going on, and then also the baby's heart rate was going down. So it was that I couldn't dilate, and then the baby was, you know, so they had to give me an emergency C-section. And in the emergency C-section, I almost died, literally. And it's like, I laugh about it, but it's just like, it was really scary. And yeah, so I was there during a C-section, they have a countdown. Like they have an amount of time that they need to get the baby out, to sew you back in, and that's it. So literally, the last thing I remember, like I remember it up to a point, and then after that I don't remember anything that happened in between, and then I wake up and then I remember. So they brought me back in, they brought me into the room. Everything was going good. They gave me the injection that I needed. They had me numb and stuff like that. I didn't feel anything. They were cutting me open. Whatever. I was talking to my mom. I was holding her hand. I was like, can you hold this hand? I remember. I was like, can you hold this hand? Because I'm like losing like the feel of it. So like, can you hold this so I can like, you know, make pressure to it? So it was around, I would say 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And all I hear was 4 minutes. And the baby was still not out. So I like, you know, everybody was getting a little worried. They had to start moving faster. While they were cutting me open and while they were like doing the back and forth and then trying to open it up, I lost so much blood. Like a lot of blood. And around that time was when I started dozing off. All I heard was the baby cry, and I looked, I saw the baby, and then I just fainted. And I woke up and I was in another bed. But I didn't remember that part. I just remember, you know, they got the baby out, whatever, and then they put me on another bed. That's how I remember it. Until my mom told me the story. My mom did not tell me the story until we got home like a week later. And I had questioned it, and I was like, why are they giving me so much medication? I literally had medication for iron. Like, I had to drink it like 3 times a day. Medication for, like, I had to inject myself with medication. I had a lot of medication, and I didn't get why. Because I asked my other friend who had a C-section, and she was just like, no, like, I just have medication for, like, for pain and stuff. Which I had also, but it was just like medication for pain, then an injection, then this. It was a lot of medication. I was just like, and my mom was like, well, I didn't want to tell you while we were there, but, and I was just like, nice. So I almost died. But no, it's not funny, but it's just like, you know, like it's over with, and I'm just glad that I have my baby boy, and I'm doing really good. I'm doing, you know, and yeah, it was scary. I was there for 3 days, and I really thought that I wasn't gonna make it. Like, before the whole C-section, I was just like, yo, like, can y'all get this baby out of me? Literally, it was just like, first of all, the nurses do not let you sleep. The nurses come in every 30 minutes, every hour. Like, bro, can you take a break? Like, you guys are monitoring me outside. Why do you need to come inside every 2 seconds? So that was really annoying, because it was just like, oh my god. And then once they put a certain type of medication inside of you, you're not allowed to freaking eat. So I couldn't eat. I was still sneaking in food, because it's just like, how do you think I'm gonna last 3 days without any type of food in my system? That's crazy. So after that, and one thing I do recommend to anybody that's pregnant, that's watching it, wait on the epidural. Just wait on it. Take the pain as much as you can. Make sure you're doing a natural delivery before you do anything. Because I got the epidural thinking I was gonna get a natural delivery, because it was just like, okay, they were dilating me, whatever. I was 3 centimeters. Once I hit 5, it was just like, boom, like, I'm good. No, they couldn't dilate me more. And I had the epidural once I hit like around almost like 3, because the pain was getting really hot, like heavy. And I ended up getting a C-section. So it's like I had double pain, because let me tell you, this epidural, I don't get as much pain, but the back pain that you get, it's like super unnecessary. And if you can avoid getting an epidural, I would highly suggest you just don't get it. Like, if you can avoid it, don't get it. But if you need it, by all means, do what you gotta do. But if I would have waited, I would have had less pain, which is, it took me a little longer to recover, because I had my back pain, I had my stomach pain, I was still swollen, like I could barely walk. So it's just like, you know, like, you could have avoided less pain if you would have just waited, Ashanti. But you didn't want to wait because you was in pain. And at the moment, it's just like, I'm in pain, like. and what can you do? You're gonna do what you gotta do. But yeah, so the way I make it sound is a little lighter than how it all went down, because it was just really exhausting. But yeah, I feel like I could be able to do something like that again, but it would have to be a couple of years later. Like I not right now, not in a year, not in 2 years, maybe when he's like 3, 4, like, because honestly, like, my pregnancy wasn't all peaches and rainbows. Like, you know, it had a lot of its flaws and stuff, and you know, from that point on, like, it got really exhausting. And then just like always, I was in the hospital a lot. I think I've said that in my last videos. I was in the hospital a lot. My first trimester in the hospital a lot. I was throwing up. I couldn't hold down anything. I could barely eat anything. Like, I literally had to buy like little, like, I would barely eat crackers and water. I used to throw up water. So it was really, really bad. But it got cool. It got relaxed my second trimester. My second trimester, I don't really have a lot of complaints, but that's when the heartburn starts to come in and things like that. You start getting out of breath. And to be honest, I'm really like, I'm still not okay with how my body looks, but it's getting really, really good. For someone that used to eat a lot, I used to eat literally like every hour, and I couldn't stop it. Like, I would try, and my mom and my grandmother would just look at me like, yo, like, you're hungry again? And let me tell you, it wasn't not like no snacking. Like, I have literally on my Uber Eats from around the time that I was pregnant, and it was like Uber Eats, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, literally all the time, like all the time. And then, like, I remember this one time I bought Applebee's, and I had bought, I know you guys know what I'm talking about, the sampler that has the quesadillas, the buffalo wings, the chips, all of that. Enjoyed my little YouTube video on how everything went during the pregnancy, and like the labor and delivery. It was a little scary, but you know. And I'm gonna try bringing in a couple of more stuff that I want to bring in. I know that I have not been consistent, but you know, like, having a newborn, a colicky newborn, literally, like, it makes me want to cry sometimes, because he's so good, but when those pain hit him, and when he can't do, like, he can't pass gas, or when he's gassy, or you know, like, when he can't use the bathroom, I feel bad for him. Like, I wish I can take the pain away from him, because all jokes aside, he's amazing, he's great, but once he's in pain, the little boy will cry for hours. So thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, you know, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Okay guys, so we are on our way to the hospital. This is my mama. She's mean, she doesn't like being in anything. Anyways, so we have been here for over 32 hours. 36. Over 36 hours. And I am now recovering.